Hello and welcome. My name is Tara, and I'm going to be talking about why is it so hard to do this journey, transformative journey, spiritual journey, creating change, manifestation. Why are we being hit with so much trauma and so much struggle and so much sensitivity around ourselves and around the world and relationships and etc.? So this is an unfortunate part of where we are in our greater timeline. And I've talked about this not only with people one-on-one, but also in these videos as well. And I'm sure if you're following my video, you may have heard of it before as well, of where we are in our greater timeline of humanity. We are evolving into a higher state of consciousness. And with that comes understanding all of the layers embedded within us that are coming to light, are coming to our consciousness. So things that we have buried, things that we have suppressed, memories, wounds, traumas, pains. There are the traumas that we remember, that we can identify with, and then there are traumas that we may have suppressed, we may have forgotten, the little T's, the little traumas, and yes, past life traumas are playing into this lifetime. Now, we can get hit with so many different things in our life, and I watched a video interview with Jordan Peterson, and the interviewer was asking him, but also, I guess, reflecting on why are people becoming softer? And is humanity becoming softer? And Jordan Peterson, I do actually really like him. I love his content. But his answer it did hold value. It came from a position of, we need to be stronger. We need to be tougher. We were tougher back in the day. We were tougher. We could walk barefoot in the snow for 30 miles, And that could be true, yes, in some ways. I'm sure we were tougher in our body and in our resiliency and in our ability to carry great weight and negativity and burdens. I believe that was definitely part of our history of where we were and how we were operating in some kind of form. But when you think about it as well, being in that lifetime when we were tougher and more resilient, we also had lower life expectancy. We also had lower consciousness levels within ourselves that attributed to suppressing and oppressing our emotions and our understanding of the greater picture in life. And this is where we're coming out of. And because we're going through this transition of leaving that kind of lifestyle where we were severely oppressed. I mean, we still have oppression. Oppression is rampant in our society because that's how we lived for many years and hundreds of years. So this has been a very familiar way of living, which I'm going to touch on completely in a completely different video on control and oppression, suppression, repression, all of those energies that do limit us, that we still have to work out of, that is very controlling and very stifling on our psyche, on ourselves. But that is where we're coming from. So why is this so hard? Why is this such a difficult journey? Well, because we're smack dab right in the middle of this monumental transition. And you yourself very well could be going through this transformation. A lot of us are. A lot of us who are operating in a conscious manner or wanting to dive into the depths, ask these questions, do the healing work, do the transformation work. Those people who are going into the depths, who are questioning, who are transforming, are feeling the pain. I mean, I'm not saying that those who aren't are not feeling pain either, but when we as humans don't have a level of consciousness that we are operating under, we let the hard energies, the traumas, the negativity override our existence so that we operate unconsciously. So those who are not doing this work, those who are not asking questions, seeking inner guidance, inner wisdom, going through transformation, going through healing work, those who are not interested or who are not aware, will have their their lifestyle operating through unconscious behaviors basically switched off. They're basically switched off to awareness, to growth, to change. It doesn't mean that they're not going through difficult time and they're not suffering. It's just they'll numb out. They'll maybe fall into addictions. They'll find ways to avoid the pain. But the thing is, with this work, shadow work, especially going into the pain and going into the dark side of ourselves that we need to address, will allow for change to happen, will allow ourselves to create greater awareness and go through the process of healing and transformation. And when we uncover those layers within of the traumas, the fears, the pain, the sorrow, when we find those layers within, we let them go. We go through the motions of self-discovery, and through the self-discovery, we uncover all those layers that reside deep within so that we can release it, so that we can come to terms with it, so we can face it, so we can understand more about ourselves. But through that process is difficult because we are facing our pains, we are facing our fears, we are facing our negativity. And look, we get hit with so many things. I mean, you can talk about even astrology and the planets. So all of us are on a different path. We could be going through a Saturn return, or who knows what's happening on top of everything else that we're trying to work through. So it can be very overwhelming. But even with regards to things like astrology or predictions, I very much do recommend to be your own inner compass, your own inner guide. And when we get hit with maybe a karmic planetary alignment or something of that nature, or even if we are going through a karmic cycle, something that needs to be concluded or healed or finalized from past life situation, it is so important to trust our inner self and our inner guidance system and see and witness within ourselves any fears and any pains and any negativities that are coming to the forefront, because that is the only way we are going to heal and transform. And we all go through this. A lot of us are going through the pain, the uncertainty, the negativity, the worry, the doubt, the fear, and the fears can override our experiences at any given time of the day or all day. The greater self-awareness that we have, the easier it will be to work through this. And I'm not saying it's easy, because it definitely has its highs and its lows. But where we want to be is right in the middle. We want to be in a place of balance and harmony within ourselves, within the light and the dark. Too much dark is not healthy. Too much light is not healthy. We wouldn't be able to sustain it. That could also fall under toxic positivity, where we are ignoring the dark. When we're in the dark, we can fall into the fear, the pain, the suffering, the sorrow, all that stuff. And it could override our conscious behavior, right? So we want to find that balance. And if we teeter a little bit into the light or too much dark, then we can also self-regulate to help us move us back into that balance, into that state of balance, right? So the light and the dark are hand in hand. Both are equal measure. We can find ourselves in the darkness and be in pain. And why is this so difficult? That's also a perception. And I've had to catch myself as well. Why is this so hard? Why is this so difficult? I can't continue on like this. I get it. I go through it myself. And it does feel like a very relentless energy, mindset, and experience that we can find ourselves in. And sometimes I also question myself, why is it so difficult? Why is this so challenging? Well, it's because we're unraveling a lot of these layers within us. We're self-reflecting. We're becoming more aware. We're feeling more. We're in the 2000s as well in numerology. The twos are all about sensitivity. It is very much a balance as well, but it is a very, very sensitive and emotional number. So as Jordan Peterson said, we need to be tougher. We need to go back to our roots and be tougher. And I'm not disagreeing with that, but I also feel that sensitivities are really good to have. And we're tapping into sensitivities that we haven't experienced before. We're tapping into new sensitivities, new feelings, new experiences. Oh, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like that kind of group of people or those people or that kind of situation or this work environment or maybe even the way I'm living my life. All these sensitivities are now coming to the foreground, right? How we feel about certain things, but also too, it can get the best of us and take us into that downward spiral where we feel like we can't get out. Right? So the sensitivities are very important. We need to be sensitive. It is our guidance system. It's how we interpret life and understand these many different aspects within our day-to-day experiences. But we also have to be very careful of not to fall so far into the negativity and the hardship and the fears, etc. And I've talked about this many times in videos as well. So we can easily find ourselves in the perpetual downward spiral or in the pain and the suffering and the sorrow and the fear and not be able to get out, not be able to find a way out. But finding the way out is where our greatness lies. That is where we get to manifest more. That's where we get to have a better life. But we do need to go into the depths. We do need to go into the depths to explore what is in there. Why am I feeling this way? And when we face challenges, those times offer us ability to make changes within ourselves, within our environment, within our mindset, within our perception, within our emotions. We can control all of that, right? Even though sometimes I know it feels like things are out of control and we have no control over anything. But know that, yes, we do. We do to an extent. We do have a divine destiny. We do have something that we are meant to experience and curveballs that will come in that we have to overcome, that we have to maybe heal or maybe karmic, as I mentioned, karmic loops that need to be concluded. But again, we are in a very monumental time right now where we have the ability to unravel and to go within. Can you imagine your grandparents probably never had the ability to do this, nor were they ever prompted to, or nor did they have the emotional understanding of self-reflection, of healing, of transformation. So a lot of this is becoming new, is becoming opened up for us to explore. But because of that, we're also going into a lot of the sensitivities that we have within us. And it's layer by layer. There are many different multi-dimensions that we have within ourselves pertaining to this work. It's not an overnight fix. It is a journey. It is a dance. But the more, again, awareness that we can develop around it, the greater ability we have for transformation. All right, so I am with you on this. I'm going through this myself. Some days are great. Some days are WTF. Why is this so difficult? Why is this happening? Why does it have to be so hard? But again, a lot of it is perception. How we are falling into maybe traumas or wounds that we have within that have really weighed us down, that have really created a lot of pain and a lot of suffering. And those emotions and feelings come to the surface and trigger these responses of why is it so difficult? Why doesn't it change? I get it. Again, like I said, it does feel relentless, but the more that we can observe, am I falling into the hardship? Am I falling into the difficulties? Let it go. Switch the perception, look towards something greater, right? Or do something that is healthy, do something that is going to maybe even get you outside, get your body moving, write down, journal. I mean, even feeling negative and having negative thoughts are not a bad thing. Feeling bad about ourselves when we do fall into the negativity, write it down, journal about it, find the source of where it's coming from, let it go, and work towards something more constructive and something more positive. So this is an ongoing journey. There are going to be the highs and the lows, the peaks and the valleys. I know it is a very sensitive time right now, but it is also serving a purpose. So we will see those moments of reward when we continue with this work and when we continue to go inward and invest in ourselves. But the why is it so hard is also an old subconscious belief system that is ingrained deep within. So just be aware of that. If the mind is coming in with some of those stories of difficulties, of stress, this is all in how we see our reality. It is all in our perceptions based on our subconscious beliefs that are buried deep within, based on our shadow. All right, so I do hope this offers a bit of guidance. Again, just quick tips if you are going through some of the difficult times. Be very health conscious with the body, with the mindset as well. Anything that you can do to quickly revert or to change your mindset into a positive, to immediately not feeding into the doubt, the worry, the negativity. That is going to be crucial. It will change your perception. It will lighten your energy. And anything you can do to even get outside, go for a walk, do something, yoga, go for a walk, go for a run, be in nature is hugely therapeutic. Also listening to music, doing something that will lift your spirits. Finding like-minded people, any kind of community environment also will help build relations and even allow you to talk about some of the difficulties that you're going through. So find like-minded people, like-minded communities, places where you can share, places where you can grow together. So I hope that offered a bit of guidance when you need it the most. Yes, we are in a very sensitive time. We are unraveling a lot of these deep embedded memories and energies that reside within. It is a process, but it does get better over time. So I am sending you a lot of encouragement, a lot of love and light your way for your journey and beyond. Until next time, I will be seeing you very soon. Take care.